He's loud. I'm Jennifer Roberts. Welcome to my channel, True Divine 44. I will be putting this up on other places that I go to, so check me out. It'll either be The True Divine or True Divine 44, one of the two. Narcissist, right? I know that that is an energy that I need to speak on a lot right now because it's prevalent. And for the energies that we're going into, I think we need to think about dealing with this in a different way, in that, not so much the spiritual psyop, I feel, that was to tell a lot of empaths, intuitives, that they were victims, victims to the narcissist, victims to these negative energies around us. And rather than the warrior story of, you're able to absorb vast amounts of energy and transmute it, and you do it well. So this is where we do need to change our perspective on the psyop story of what we are and the energy that we are dealing with, what that is. So this energy is being played out hugely on the screens with, in particular, the Jonny Depp and Amber Heard court case. There's a reason it's being televised so widely, so vastly. And if you're watching any of the lawyers that have done a great job, that have been disseminating what has been going on and explaining a lot of the law, which has been informative, they are shocked. It's been a huge thing. They've gone from a relatively low amount of subscribers to hundreds of thousands in days, because everybody has been so hooked into this. And from their perspective, from their reality as lawyers, it is unseen. This is something new. And so it is something to take note of when you're seeing the synchronicities of these energies that are being played out on the screens around you so prevalently. There's a reason that they're projecting their image of narcissism. Again, it is to attack females in general. Of course it is. That is the ancient story that the Catholics used to, kill off all of the herbalists, as well as many others, to create these systems that are narcissistic at the core. And when you attack the woman, the feminine, you attack the divine feminine within both male and female. So it is a tested out ritual for them in order to maintain power and control. But they've done it over and over now. And so there is a lot more narcissistic energy that has been fed into the structures of human existence here. And it is coming to a point where there will have to be a rebalancing either way. And what reality we step into after that will depend on individuals doing their own inner work, doing their own healing, being brave enough to do that and becoming sovereign from inside to the outside rather than vice versa. So I drew this out. If you're wondering why you're looking at frogs on a lily pad and people dangling underneath, this was just quickly putting some images together, not drawing it out, and putting them together to just quickly depict a little bit of what I want to share today, because I feel there's a lot of things coming through this narcissistic energy, and there's a reason that they're playing it out so publicly. So I think there's going to be lots of layers to look at. And so we see here the frogs. The frogs will symbolize in this narration the narcissistic energy. And so the frogs are on the lily pad and they are very mobile. These images down here of the people dangling will depict, let's say, empath. But that's not the right word, because a lot of narcissists are great empaths, but just in a darker or more negative way. So let's say the Let's say the warrior, because to overcome these energies, then there is going to, you're going to need some warrior, spiritual badass energy up in this space in numbers. And so let's say the warrior, because it isn't all about love and light, and there will be a recalibration, a rebalancing of not accepting certain narcissistic behaviors and systems anymore. With that comes a battle, because the narcissists do not want to give up. They don't know how to. And so I want you to see that almost down to DNA, there are some narcissistic energies running rampant in people, particularly in places of power, but also around us, among us, that are so detached from the energy that we would know of a warrior, of a spiritual empath, of a intuitive, or of source energy. They've gone in such a different direction that it's almost at a DNA level. And you're seeing like generational narcissists, particularly in places of power, each time getting more and more detached from the DNA that they began with. And they've literally been seeded over generations into where you can see these narcissistic energies now that are void of empath, void of worrying about the consequences of their actions, void of all of that. And but they're in the light, yeah. They're up in the space that people can see. They are very seen. They're of the light. The stories are smooth, and they add context to it, you know, with religion and beliefs, and they come across as being very loud and brave. And so often what is in the light can be very much manipulated under this narcissistic energy. They're on these lily pads because it's transient, and these arrows are to depict that the narcissist will land on your lily pad. They will use the little suction cups on their feet to extract the energy that they need, that you have, that they have become void of, almost in some DNA level. And so they need that opposite to survive. And they do this by extracting energy from you that, as the spiritual warrior, have come into a space of trickster energy, Loki type energy, in that you are so of love, that you are willing to give and give and give, rather than watch or see another person, another being, not even person, but another being suffer. And so you will give and give and give of your energy to fill that void, because you can't stand to see somebody have that kind of void within them. And so they will do this in slick and smooth ways, the love bombing. So they bounce on your lily pad, they make a huge impact on you. They become your all, they become your world, i.e. the lily pad, and that is all you see, because that's all they will allow you to see. You will become isolated from others, and all your job is now, is all your role is to fulfill any voids the narcissistic frog has. And you can kiss it as many times as you like, and it'll put a princess hat on, it'll put a princess robe on, but it will never become your prince or princess. And so you will cling on for dear life. You will cling and cling and cling, desperate not to cause any more void or allow any void to be in this being that has become your all. Your only sight is this being and the lily pad, and how you can push that energy into it, whatever that energy is that they are drawing out of you. You become depleted, and you are then clinging on underneath the murky waters. You are then clinging on only being able to see this lily pad because that has become your only focus, because the narcissist has made sure that is your only focus. And so you cling on for dear life in this murky water, having depleted yourself of all of your reservoir of energy, of essence, of loosh. And you have then you are then left also with the inner wounds that are not only would maybe there and void within you to start with, and that is how the narcissist chose you, or that is how you drew that narcissistic energy in, but also now you are then void, you are then given more inner wounds to deal with, because all of a sudden the narcissist realizes you're getting a bit thin there on energy, it's getting a bit weak, because those interactions with the narcissist wear you down physically, mentally, emotionally. They hit the spot in every aspect of you if you allow them to, and you are worn down. So you are left clinging on for dear life to this lily pad that is now void, that is now, you know, the frog itself, let's say, has, where is the brush editor? Frog. The frog itself, oh, we're not on the right layer, Jenny. Come on. Let's see. First frog. Another first frog. Which bloody frog? There. Oh, I've got two frogs, I see. I must have duplicated it a few too many times. So that'll do. The frog has disappeared. The narcissist has now jumped to the next lily pad, where the next source is. And the narcissist will triangulate. They will have left a little bit of themselves there. They will have jumped to here simultaneously and jump into here. So they're constantly reading, how much energy do you have for me here? How much energy are you giving? You know, and all the way along. And this is the path of destruction that they leave, because they're leaving all of these spiritual warriors that forgot they were fucking spiritual badasses and forgot their own essence and their own importance to feed another. And that is where there is compassion in that, there is love in that, but there is a lack of wisdom in that. And that is where the W has to come in, actually. A wisdom-filled warrior, warrior of wisdom, having the knowledge, but knowing where to apply it. And for as long as we keep feeding these frogs that jump on a lily pad and they have their trickster energy to hook into us, we are then left bereft. We are then left in the murky waters, not only with our own inner wounds, our own shit to deal with, but depleted, exhausted, and now all of the abandonment that you feel, and you've given so much during this time when you've had this interaction with this narcissist, whether that's giving of your taxes, while knowing this narcissist is jumping around behind your back, signing deals with Amazon, signing deals with other places that they promised they wouldn't, signing deals with PPE companies that don't really exist, and coming back to you and saying, need more, need more. And then you can put that down into the layers of existence, into your own life, and look around you and really see, where are you giving, but where are people taking? And are you continuing to give just to keep the peace, just to keep the unity? That is the illusion. It's the illusion, because they will give you the illusion of unity whilst jumping to another lily pad, or having the full capability to do so. So then you are left to deal with these inner wounds of abandonment, of guilt, of sorrow, of embarrassment, as well as usually financial implications in the physical reality. And so in these murky waters, we see that the cycle continues because we then try to climb these ropes to get back to the narcissist. We try and climb these ropes because we find that, okay, so what's changed? The energetic feeding I've been given has changed. So if I just give more, if I just put more into that, if I just give some more time to that, then the cycle continues. The frog will re-emerge right at the start of the cycle. And you do this because this is uncomfortable. You're not just in the dark, murky waters of your own inner shit to deal with. You are then in the dark, murky waters of this narcissist shit to deal with, because this narcissist, this energy gave all of that to you so that they could feel pumped up enough to go to the next, feeling beautiful, feeling handsome, feeling full of beautiful words and care and love that you have put into them. So they deliberately are taking your bliss, pillaging your honor, your wisdom, your beauty, your strength, and then taking that and using your energy as the next mask, the next veil that they will wear in order to trick another. So you give of yourself, you give an illusion of yourself, a veil of yourself, to literally allow this person to go forward and trick another and another and another. So we have all of these spiritual warriors totally depleted. And we do this because we are trying to get out of these murky waters. We don't understand these inner wounds. They don't even feel like ours. Why are we here? So we try and climb out of it quick. The wisdom is to stay in the dark, to absolutely and completely be comfortable with the darkness in order to have thoughts like this, to think through what is happening here. How did this happen? Why did this happen? All of the things that you would ask yourself in order to transmute the energy that you are feeling. Being able to be really sovereign and take back your essence. Stop your essence from being used as a trick to trick another person into exchanging their essence, their strength, all of who they are, in order to then go and trick the other. It's about us being comfortable with the uncomfortable discussions. It's about us being comfortable with the limitless possibilities and not fearing them. It's easy to say the words limitless possibilities and the infinite, but when you really go into a meditative state and start exploring that and swimming in the implications and meanings of that, it can be frightening, just like it would be frightening swimming in a black sea, where it is so dark that you cannot see what is swimming underneath you or around you. The huge sharks, whales can be literally absolutely hidden right underneath you. So it is difficult, especially when we've been taught and conditioned this, to have this narcissistic cycle, to have it normalized, to have us tricked so much and in fear of the limitless potentials, that dark womb unmanifest that Manly P. Hall speaks about, to have us so frightened of what may be beneath us that we continue this cycle because it is easier, because we don't want to disconnect from family members who are this narcissistic type energy, because we know that if we started to really demand back our essence from the leaders of this world, if we stopped their energetic and physical exchange of energy, focus, money. If we stop that, then they're going to have an almighty tantrum. They're going to have an almighty hissy fit, and things are going to go down. So we avoid it, like we avoid the sharks and everything else that we don't even know of that could be in this sea of blackness. So it's about really being unafraid of the unseen, unafraid of the unseen potentials and corners of self, to really stop what is going on in the direction that we go in. We really do need to take notice about what they're trying to push down our throat. It doesn't matter in this trial who wins or who doesn't, because there has been already a lot of conditioning that has gone on within it, that whether you are the abused or the abuser, there are going to be huge implications for you if you speak out. There is going to be huge amounts of embarrassment. There's going to be huge amounts of financial implications. All of that has been conditioning to maintain a level of fear in the spiritual badass warriors that are out there of the unseen, of the dark sea, of what swims beneath them, of the limitless possibilities, and what the implications will be for a while when you start to take that back. Narcissists work really well with threats, veiled threats. And so really take heed today. Look at who is holding any strings on you. Don't be anybody's puppet. And prepare yourself to go into this dark woman manifest. Prepare yourself to be a focused master of intent in order to really draw in within you and around you in this darkness what you would want to see. Not constantly being conditioned to push your fear into that darkness and allow them to use your essence, hijack your essence to draw in what they would want to see from you and for themselves. So I hope that makes sense. There's going to be much more in this because, like I say, it's an energy that we are having a reckoning with. It's an energy that I spoke about a long time ago, feeling it bubbling up more so than ever. And we are at one of those moments again of, all right, okay, this is where this is at right now. This is how we change things right now. This is where we should have our intent and our focus right now. And so for those of you who have the eyes to see and the ears to hear, I'm with you. Let's get working on this and let's do what we know to do. And for those who haven't, thanks a lot. I'm only, well, half joking. Much love, balance and wholeness. Get a personal reading for me with tarot and intuitive insight for whatever it might be, business, personal, love, all of those things, by going to truedivinemedia@gmail.com. There's other things, the divinity, holistic teas that I forage, that I prepare, and mantras that go with them at Divinity. Check that out on Facebook. And much love, balance and wholeness. All the details will be in the description. Mwah.